A secluded beach hums with activity as Navy Seabees from Amphibious Construction Battalion 2 build an elevated causeway system, or LCAS, at Joint Expeditionary Base Little Creek on the Chesapeake Bay. It's an essential exercise to keep the Seabees ready for duty, whether it's used for combat supply or to provide emergency aid.
The LCAS is a mobile pier system from the beach and extend out into the ocean.
If a port was under siege and we couldn't get anything to our troops, Seabees would be called in to set up LCAS, and we would then have ships pull up to our pier in a very secure area and offload whatever we needed to get to our troops that were on shore.
It's an integral asset to haul equipment to support any mission.
The LCAS is a complex system erected in difficult conditions. Training before deployment under the safe conditions at Little Creek helps veteran Seabees hone their skills and new sailors build confidence.
When you actually go out there, see it all together and going together, that's when it clicks. That's when they know, all right, we can do it.
Every time the Navy trains in and around the water, they must ensure these activities are conducted in a manner to mitigate their impact on the environment. Observers are scanning the mitigation zone for protected species visible from the surface, including marine mammals and sea turtles. When protected species are sighted within the zone, the Seabees immediately cease all activities until the animals move out of the area, or for 30 minutes after the last sighting of those animals. Certain species are easier to detect than others.
So if they see any dolphins within a certain distance, they'll shut the operation down. But the thing about fish is you can't see what the fish are doing.
Nearshore Navy training, like the LCAS exercise, provides a unique opportunity for scientists with the Naval Facilities Engineering Command Atlantic to study the possible effects of nearshore construction on fish and shellfish, which are vital to the health of ocean food webs and commercial and recreational fisheries.
Pile driving can be very loud underwater, and we're trying to determine if that activity has any implications to the fish.
Previously, the Navy studied the possible effects of underwater noise on fish in a contained environment. But this is one of the first studies to gather data on fish that are not contained while being exposed to underwater construction noise.
There was a huge gap in the knowledge about fish and their reaction to what we call impulsive sounds, which are like the strike of a hammer.
Not all fish hear alike, so that's one of the nice things about this study is because we're looking in the natural environment. Any fish that might be in the water are going to be included in the study.
Conditions in typical pile driving locations are subject to weather and tides that make the water too turbid for traditional underwater cameras to capture the behavior of fish. Instead, scientists use a special sonar camera called ARIS, which uses sound waves to penetrate the murky waters, so scientists can observe how fish react to construction noise.
The acronym for it is Adaptive Resolution Imaging Sonar. And it's essentially like a camera that sees in sound. Sound is not affected by turbidity.
The sound that we put in the water is high frequency. It's out of the hearing range of most of the fish species that we would be observing. It looks kind of like an X-ray or an ultrasound image of the fish, and it travels for very short distances, and so it doesn't impact the fish's behavior.
The ARIS camera is placed in the construction zone to record fish behavior before, during, and after pile driving. Later, data are analyzed to determine if and how fish behavior may be affected by construction activities.
We do look at different behaviors. If there's a startle behavior, if we suddenly see a lot more aggression between fish, we're looking at if there's an increase in swim speed. You kind of mark where the fish is in the video and how fast it's traveling, the size of the fish. We'll then do an analysis to see if the behaviors are different during periods of pile driving versus when they're not pile driving.
Data from this study will inform Navy leadership when reevaluating mitigation measures to protect fish populations in nearshore construction zones.
We already have some mitigation in place for pile driving. So when they start pile driving, they start softly, just so it can build up in the intensity. Research that's out there now seems to indicate that the sound sources that rise slowly and fall slowly have less of an impact on fish.
Depending on what we learn from this study, it's possible other mitigation might be necessary.
As the study continues, Navy scientists are working to ensure the Navy maintains essential capabilities for military readiness, while continuing their commitment to be good stewards of the sea.
The Navy is a world leader in marine research, and we use scientific experts to help us ensure that we conduct our activities in an environmentally friendly manner.